Hey guys, it's me again, and well, today I'm gonna look at the issue of women in Islam, and again, none of what I'm saying is my own opinion or anyone else's opinion. This is straight out of their own Quran, and I found this verse in there that pretty much I guess you can say is an eye opener, and pretty much describes the level of rights that women do have in Islam. But this is according to their holy book, the Quran. Okay, and let's see, Surah 4 verses 34, and it says, "Men are the protectors and maintainers of women. As to those women on whose part you see ill conduct, admonish them first. Next, refuse to share their beds. And then, last, beat them lightly if it is useful. But if they return to obedience, seek not against them means of annoyance." Okay. Surah 4 verses 11. Allah commands you as regards to your children's inheritance, to the male a portion equal to that of two females. Wow. Okay. Well, wow, that's pretty, Surah 4 verses 34, that's a pretty eye-opening verse, because, I mean, basically they can beat their wives, basically. The Quran, allows them to do that. And if you don't trust what I'm saying, you can always look into a Quran for yourself, because, hey, that's what I did, and I found this stuff out. And I didn't just take one and two verses here and there and just read them. I read the verses before it and read the verses after it. So, I mean, take things as they are. I mean, it says you can beat them lightly if it's useful. You know. So, because it's saying as to those women on whose part you see ill conduct. Wow. So that means on whose part you see. So basically, if I guess if your wife behaves a certain way you don't like, or I guess you don't see as fit for a woman, I guess you can beat them as a last option. But I mean, the insane part of it is that the kind of doors that right opens up is just unbelievable. Because if you can beat them because their behavior is not pleasing in your own sight, then that means that basically, I've been hearing on the news lately about this guy, the president of Afghanistan, President Karzai, and he was saying that, well, men should have the right to beat women if they refuse to have sex with them. You know, Men should be able to beat their wives if they refuse to have sex with them. But then again, but guess what? The Quran backs that up. Their own holy book, their own religion, in its factual sense, backs that up. So basically, he wasn't lying. So according to the religion, women aren't really, well, it's almost like they're just property, really. You know. And they'll be like, "Oh, Muhammad, he was a great prophet, or a prophet of God, or whoever." If this man is such a prophet of God, there is no way this would be coming out of his mouth. I mean, seriously. Beat them lightly if it's useful? Wow, I mean, that means that, like, say I'm a Muslim man and I have a Muslim wife. If she say I want to do something with her that's I guess you can put it inappropriate or something that she doesn't like or whatever. If she doesn't want to do it or she's cursing back at me, I can just say, hey, let's just skip to beating her. Just basically beat the hell out of her and beat her into submission, basically. You know, it doesn't say you can kill your wife, but but beat them lightly if useful. Wow. I mean, so I can do basically as I please with a woman in Islam if she's my wife, basically. I can do as I please because the second she says no, all I have to do is basically threaten to punch her or kick her and all of that. It kind of reminds me of that issue with what's his name, Chris Brown and Rihanna. They're all kind of just like, oh, how could he beat her up like that and this and that. I'm just like, yeah, it's sick, it's sickening. You can't just go around. Men can't just go around beating up their own wife or their girlfriend, just beating them up because they feel like it. That's not right. But in Islam, it's a complete opposite. It's perfectly normal, basically. I mean, it's insane, you know. And what that can lead to as well is rape. Whether people know this or not, it could be basically rape, like legal rape, backed up by their own religion. Because a guy can be like, hey, honey, I want to do this tonight or whatever, and she's like, no, I'm not in the mood. Honey, you better do it. Remember last week that I did deal with that switch or that baseball bat? Okay, please, okay, just don't. What? That's intimidation and practically rape because she didn't even want it. I mean, do you see what kind of doors get opened up here? The sick possibilities that get opened up here. And it's sickening. It's absolutely sickening. But I mean, unlike the Bible, which says, hey, a woman is the other half of a man. So basically, for me to beat my wife, it would be like I'm beating myself. Basically, I might as well beat myself if I'm gonna beat my wife. But in Islam, I mean, it's perfectly okay apparently. I mean, it's pretty insane. But I guess I'll see you in part 8.